What's good, everybody? Happy Labor Day to everyone.
Oh, I think you're on mute.
FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com in the FanDuel app. Lock in over there. FanDuel.com and Honora Whiskey. HonoraWhiskey.com. It is that premium American whiskey. Didn't go down too well last night, Left. Wasn't as smooth last night going down. However, go to HonoraWhiskey.com. And if you drink, by all means, make sure that you do it
responsibly.
Let's get it. Lucky Lefty podcast. That dude, the original Lucky Lefty himself, MALIK ZAIRE, brought to you by Notre Whiskey. Subscribe on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up. It helps all the views. Leave your comments, questions. We do respond to all. TikTok, Twitter, X, Instagram, at Lucky Lefty Pod. Audio edibles. Tap in on the audio side each and every day. Bleav Network. And then we're presented by FanDuel. FanDuel.com. Notre Dame did not cover. And this game hit the over, which is crazy. I would have expected the opposite. Notre Dame to win, cover, and the under to take place. Unfortunately, that did not take place as the Fighting Irish fall to the Miami Hurricanes by the score of 27-24 down in South Beach Hard Rock Stadium last night. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll hear from Marcus Freeman. That's when I'm going to really chime in and do most of my talking. Your GTB questions, your GTB comments, super chats, get them in. I want to hear from you guys today. It's a holiday, but we want to hear from the fans because I know they're fired up, Left. After watching that performance, I know the fan base is fired up. It's absolutely fired up. But I'm going to give my time over to the dude, the Scully on.
What a Notre Dame bookstore. Notre Dame bookstore. Get you one of these Red Army hats. They got a nice blue one and a nice orange. I think it's red or orange, one or two. But man, this is first you want to preface by saying we only lost by 3, so it's not like it's the end of the world, and there's a lot. Obviously, we feel like we could have done better, but to lose a game like this early, it's not the end of the world. Is it some things that I wish we would have came out and did differently, better, and I had a different expectation of how we would come out, but a lot of what I said before the season started, came to fruition. This is a team, if we're going to be the team that we expect to be this year, I think it has to be offensively led. It's going to have to be through us scoring points and our defense supporting us and coming behind that, because I do think that the defense is going to take a few games to get on code with Chris Ash, who wasn't the best first game ever. I mean, I remember a very similar showing that we had versus Texas, the 2016 year, when we scored 50 points and they scored 50 points and we lost in double overtime. And it's a game we should have won, but everybody had a lot to say about what could have been better. I think everybody could have played better, obviously. It just didn't feel like all of that prep that we did in the offseason, all of the things that we were doing to build the team to get back better, all the things that we felt good about, it just didn't show up. I just thought we played extremely passive on both sides of the football, extremely predictable, a little lazy when it came to, some of the situational football where I thought we could have used some creativity. We could have used some of the guys that we got from transfers and different things. Effort-wise, We didn't come out like we played in the national championship just the year before. Some bright spots. I did see Strowman around the ball a lot. I mean, I don't know if it was because the dread stood out, but every time I saw a defensive play, I saw Strowman somewhere close to the football. So I don't know if that's a good thing or it's like, or he got the Nick Coleman thing going on where he's always there, but always at the wrong time. But defensive line, it was just a lot to be desired. I mean, it was just obvious. We're just talking eye test things. The eye test things where we didn't see or feel like we were getting a lot of pressure from the D line. I didn't see a bunch of 6-man pressures or some of the things we were doing last year. It just felt like we were playing real passive offensively, keeping things in front of us and, letting Miami dictate. They came out second half and had 7 minutes on a possession. I mean, shoot. I don't see like we was really accustomed to that last year. And then offensively, it just was so much to be desired. It felt like we gave Jeremiah Love the ball because we had to, not like we were designing or putting the offense around for him to succeed. It was just like, we're going to give it to him because his name is Jeremiah Love, and then we're going to split him out because we worked on a couple plays in the offseason to get him some looks. But it didn't feel like it was a best player, get the best players the football type of focus. Malachi Fields reminded me a lot of Bo Collins last year. A couple good plays here and there, a couple mistakes early on, but I'm waiting for the impact or a leader. It felt like there needed to be more of leadership going on the offensive side of football. I thought CJ played okay. CJ didn't play bad, but did he play elite next level? I mean, he had some good moments, and there was some moments where it's like, I think they could have let him do more. And the thing is this kid has been in the system. Obviously, it's a crazy environment, but if we're going to put him in there, we shouldn't slow roll him out so much to where we run out of time. I just thought we ran out of time. I thought that if we're going to run the ball with him, it's just the game plan around what we wanted CJ to do, I thought was a little interesting. I don't know. I feel like running the football, we didn't run to open up everything else. We were running and just to say we ran the ball. And yeah, it's a feast or famine offense. I think we could just understand Denbrock a little bit more now, that it's not so much of I'm coaching to the strengths of what we have offensively and more of I'm going to run my plays and we're going to fit within that system, because it's really feast or famine. If you look at LSU's offense with Jaden Daniels, the player type that Jaden Daniels is makes that offense look amazing, because Denbrock's going to give you 60% and he's like, hey, I'm going to need you to show up with that 40. That's just what the offense is. We're going to basically give you some plays. They're going to be very simple, but it's very quarterback decisive driven. So the quarterback got to decide where to go. He's got to decide to pull it, got to decide to run. So it's a lot of decision making for minimal gains that we put on CJ to make, and it just made everybody else stand and watch. I was saying this is like the 08 Cavs with LeBron, where you got some players around you, but it's like if LeBron doesn't do it all, it just doesn't work. And that's a very strenuous situation to be in with a young quarterback, because as smart as we say he is, that's just a lot to be handling in the first couple of games where everything has to emanate from your right decision making. It was never a situation where we just had some basic under center, let's run left, run right, run middle, pass plays where it's some simple progressions. Because at the end of the day, everything was an RPO, everything was an action or a decision CJ had to make, which was the right one. And then on the pass plays that we did have, if it wasn't a penalty, we got whooped on some of them one-on-ones and up front offensive line-wise. And everybody knows that CJ isn't the dynamic playmaker. So if we're getting whooped early, we had two illegal groundings because CJ's not fast enough to get away from that. So half of it is us not blocking worth a dang, and then half of it is he's not the athlete to make something happen. Now, in other offenses where you see a Jaden Daniels in a situation like that, guy breaks loose, he might make a guy miss and chuck it down the field, 40-yard gain. See, that's just the feast or famine to a Denbrock offense because it's focused around the quarterback. The quarterback has to make the plays and support all the other things that we may or may not have. And for CJ to do that in one game, it's just a lot to ask. So, yeah, he's going to look great, but he's carrying the ball and having the ball majority of the time. I mean, he had 9 carries, threw the ball a bunch of times. It's either feast or famine. So I do think
11 carries. He had 11 carries.
That's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
He led the team in rush attempts. Let's say that again. CJ Carr led the team in rush attempts with 11 rush attempts combined. Jeremiah Love and Jadarian had 16 rush attempts. 16.
And that's what I'm saying. It's a feast or famine. This is like CJ is going to be a Heisman quarterback star, or we're going to struggle. It's no in between. You got the most carries, and we're requiring you to lead the team down in the 2-minute drive, lead the team down being down 6, going through how all these big plays down. See, it's a feast or famine. And if you're legitimately not that dude, which how many can you find every year? It's only like 1 or 2 that come around. It's just hard. I mean, think about it. Jaden Daniels and CJ Carr's skill sets are different. So we shouldn't be calling the same plays for both of them. Unless we're saying, I think it's hard for CJ to operate at a young age with all of that responsibility and expect us to just steamroll teams on offense. I think Denbrock can do a better job of supporting CJ by letting other players have some of day 2. Get rid of these RPOs because, like Marcus Freeman said, and which is so obvious, when you're flooding a quarterback with RPOs, it's just hit or miss after a while because he's going to theorize all these ways that he was right about the read. But in reality, when you think level 400 football, it just doesn't work situationally. On the pick, it's an RPO, a 7-man box, right? What does a 7-man box tell you when you have 6 people to run the football? Yes, that's a good read to throw it out versus 2-on-2 on the outside. So when CJ goes in there, he's going to be like, Coach Denbrock, you said the RPO, if it's a stack box, throw it out and move on. Yeah, that you can argue that, and he'll be right to say it. But however, in a real football game, yes, it's a 7-man box. But guess what? CJ's the other option, which means that we're not blocking one of the defensive linemen, which makes it a 6-for-6 run. So the next level, when he gets more mature and older and more experienced, he'll realize, okay, yes, it's a 7-man box. Yes, the look says to throw it out on paper. But in real life, that guy's pressed on the corner. The corner's pressed on our outside receiver. So in reality, in real football time, it's going to be a lot harder to live with thinking that the non-press receiver can chip off a press corner and the receiver get skinny enough to get underneath the throw. It's just too much. It's just too much of a dangerous outcome. Whereas the opposite, you could have handed it off and carried out the fake to take away the defender that you didn't block and trust Jeremiah Love in a even run set. That's just stuff you have to live with as a quarterback as you get older and realize, okay, I know what the look says, but let's survive the play. That's where CJ has to get to, is that all of these plays may not be perfect, but how do we survive the play? Because guess what this style of offense is going to turn CJ into? It's going to turn CJ into what Riley Leonard was trying to be last year. I have to do it all. Mr. Do it all. Mr. I have to save the day. That was Carson Beck's problem at Georgia last year. He had to feel like he had to do the most. But when you look at the stat sheet and you watch the game, if you're CJ, how do you not feel like that? How do you? And then you go on Twitter and everybody's saying, "Oh my God, CJ's the one. He's the greatest. He's the." Psychologically, CJ is going to feel like, if I don't go out there and make it all happen and force throws and take chances and run people over and take the risk, we're not going to win games. Because where else are we going to win games from? I have to do everything. I have to make the right read on RPOs. I have to make the right read on the check. I have to make the right read on the pass or the pass concept. If we don't block, I got to make the man miss and still make a play happen. Because the creativity is where they keep telling us all this week leading up to the game, oh, we're going to be simple, or we're going to make it easy, or we're going to make sure he doesn't be overwhelmed. Well, guess what? You simplified yourself to the point where it became very predictable, very monotonous, and very repeatable, and very predictable to the sense where we're not challenging anybody. I was waiting for us to start playing football. I tweeted the first drive. I'm like, okay, I like the first drive. We doing some different things. We didn't just open up running the ball in heavy sets. Okay, we're trying to get CJ warm. But then it was like, okay, when are we going to go deep? When are we going to challenge the corners? When are we going to make this team not play top down and be aggressive? I mean, Miami, yes, we can give them credit, but they just showed up. They showed up, made a couple plays here and there. Shout out Justin Scott. Wish he was at Notre Dame. You know, Justin Scott showed up, made a couple plays, but we gave Miami everything they needed to win the game because at the end of the day, what was the result and what we played into? We played into their best strength, and that was at the end of the game. Everybody knows we got to pass the football, and that's the one thing that Miami had, in my opinion, and an advantage was their pass rushers. Well, the one thing Miami did for a fact I thought was better than us was the pass rushers, and we played into the game. We got it to the last minute. Their pass rushers, like, they have to throw, and we're going to do what we do best. I mean, that's what Miami did good. Other than that, we didn't force Miami to do anything different on defense. It was just like we were passive, playing patty cake. Okay, come up, rally and tackle. We 3rd and 8, we throw a 3-yard route. We wasting possessions. So is Miami leaving this game thinking they're going to be a playoff contender championship team? Maybe, but it's false hope because I think we gave away the game more so than Miami just flat out beating us.
Oh, man. I told you I was going to give you the first 15 and you.
And then the run game thing, if I'm Jadarian, I'm pissed. Because if I'm like Jadarian, I'm like, what didn't I do? I gave you guys a spark. Hell, I was running my ass off.
He fumbled.
He did.
They recovered the ball, and he never saw the field again.
But damn, really? I mean, are we that good to be doing that? Because it's not like we plugging anybody else in to make. So it's like we either Marcus Freeman, you either super strict or what we doing? Are we trying to win the game? Or are we trying to teach lessons and build character and all of that? Because at the end of the day, yes, he fumbled. But hell, CJ made a bad read on the RPO and it led to a pick. Hell, CJ threw a bad ball and it led to a potential fumble. Like you can slice and dice it all type of ways, but shit, Jadarian Price 6 carries for 45 yards. Give him the ball. Like what are we doing? Like Jeremiah Love, we're giving him the most. It's like, damn, man, I've watched college football all weekend and I've seen teams with lesser talented running backs scheme beautiful run calls for the running back to just get something and make something else happen. We're running the ball with Jeremiah Love like, all right, guys, it's time for Jeremiah Love to run. Everybody box us in and no creativity. We just go. So until I think, in my opinion, make the center of the team offensively focused around Love and not CJ, and let CJ be the distributor and the game manager. We don't. Maybe that's Denbrock's style of offense. The quarterback is the Superman, or it's nothing. Jaden Daniels had a run game that was never apparent because he was running the ball more than the running backs. Fast forward to Notre Dame, Riley Leonard is running the ball more than the running backs. So what is it telling you about the style of offense? You better run the football. If you're the quarterback, you're going to run the football. Possibly, most likely, more times than your running back. It's just what it is. That's why I said, is CJ Denbrock's type of quarterback? Because now we're just talking fit. I'm not talking about CJ's talent. I'm talking about fit. Does CJ fit what Denbrock wants to do offensively? Because clearly, Denbrock's not saying, I'm going to coach to the strengths of the players around, or at least to my quarterback. At least to the quarterback. Because we all know CJ isn't the best runner in the quarterback room. It's never been a situation where we thought that. But you're calling 11 runs for him in the game. And that's why I said it's either a easy, lazy way out where you're like, okay, well, there's a 4-1 box. They don't think CJ is going to run. It's a big down. We need some yards. So I'm just going to take the easy way out and lead block Jeremiah Love through the A-gap and get what the defense is giving me because it's an easy call to make. That's what I'm just hoping it is.
There is no way in the world. He spent all of last year.
That's what I'm saying.
Lead blocking for Riley Leonard. There's no way Jeremiah Love thought he would be lead blocking for CJ Carr this year.
No way.
No way.
No way. I just can't. I can't. And you see his face on the side. Like his face was like, "There's no way I'm blocking for this man." Oh, he said, I think he was even rationalizing the fact that, okay, I get the Riley Leonard thing because he's big, he's tough, he runs in the tackles, he's gonna put it. But CJ, what's the excuse? What's the excuse? Because I don't want to watch that all season. I don't want to watch it. Even if we win games, I don't want to watch it all season. Because if that's the case, Kenny is a better fit. What did we always say about Kenny? If you get within that 10-yard line, don't expect the ball running backs. Because Kenny's going to pull it. Kenny's pulling that thing. That's the fit to me. If that's what you want to be down in the red zone, we ain't throwing up a bunch of fades and we ain't doing all of that because they didn't even bring Jaden Grayhouse to the game. They must have kept him tucked away in South Bend for Texas A&M, and he's working on the game. Because what? It's like Jordan Faison's our extension of the running back because all we're doing with him is throwing him a bunch of screens. We ain't even doing jet sweeps. We just do we think that we got the baddest blockers at receiver in the world? Well, we just think everybody is just I don't know. Because yes, man, CJ played good, but he didn't play bad, but did he play elite? Come on, did he play elite? He ran around and he threw the touchdown to Micah Gilbert, who was standing in his zone. That was a good play. Made a great dropping the bucket to Malachi Fields. What was that, a 30-yard gain? That was the two best throws. Other than that, what did he throw? What was he given to throw? What was he throwing outside? And then the wide open Eli Raridon butt naked down the field. Me, you, and your mom could have made that throw because it was just so. Other than those three throws, what did CJ do to make everybody say this is the most elite? We got our guy. He's the answer. I don't think we gave him enough.
Hey, bro, you have to understand. You have to understand the perspective of Notre Dame. What they had just watched in the passing game in 2024, that was elite. That was elite. If he does that, if he replicates what he did yesterday, if he replicates that for 12 games,
they're gonna eat him up. But that's
that. Left, you don't understand. You don't understand. What the bear? No. Understand. We were. Remember how we kept lowering the bar
Oh, it's so low. I mean, oh my God.
No, we started off asking Riley to give us 220. Then after 4 games, we said, Riley,
It's
just
150. Give us 150.
by the end of the season, we got down to 150. Riley, if you could just give us 150 through the air, we're fine. Like literally, we just kept low. It was almost like, how low can you go? How low? Dude, it was horrible. And this kid comes out and puts up 220 first game. That's why fans are like, okay.
He's the answer.
This is elite. This is elite. This is elite. And he's just a freshman with room to grow.
Room to grow. He will get
with so much room to grow.
So much
room to grow, right? But they talked him up so much, Left. He's so smart. He's so wise. And then they just put the game on his shoulders like that's why would you do him that disservice?
Why would you do him that way? I was thinking, why would you do him that way?
Like, oh, he can drive using his feet. So let's allow him to drive using his feet. No.
Why?
No. Tell him to put his hands on the wheel. 3 and 9. Right here. Right here.
We played like CJ Carr and nobody else. That's what we played like. Like we had one player on the team, and if he can't do it, we don't know what to call, what to do. No position for nobody else to go in there and make a play. It was just so crippling. That's why I'm like, is this Denbrock's style of offense? Either you have a Jalen Daniels, Trevor Lawrence, bona fide generational first-round pick quarterback who can literally do it all, or you're stuck with a guy that's good but not there yet, and it's just like, well, you're gonna get. I mean, he played his heart out. The kid played his heart out. He got it.
Let me just put this up. Let me put this up because it speaks to the sensitivity of people not being able to listen to what's being said. For the first game, CJ was great. Nobody said he was an elite quarterback yet. You need to go check.
You need to go check Twitter.
Go check Twitter. That's not true. Go check Twitter.
Somebody mentioned Kenny. They almost kicked him off X for mentioning. Can you put Kenny for a run? They about killed him. And it's like, damn.
J-Ro, this is a great post. Why so much emphasis on him not being elite? Because they gave him a game plan as if he was elite.
Yeah, they gave him a game plan like, here, you do it. Here, you take us home. Take us home, CJ. Take us home.
Yes.
The first 10 plays were 7 of them were passes.
We know he's not elite yet. Everybody knows he's not elite yet, except for the coach staff.
Except for Denbrock. And except for Denbrock. But then, you know what's so mind crazy is that they say he's so elite, and then we go out there and we baby feed him. Here, baby, let me throw a bunch of screens, baby. Let me just give you a bunch of screens. I mean, we were screened out. We were literally screened out. Miami was like, shit, we will never play off. 5 yards off for what? They got Jordan Faison. Hey, everybody, what they say in baseball, bring it in. What they say in baseball, he ain't hit. Bring it in. And how many times did we throw it down the field? Because this is going back to, this is no different than last year's offense. How many times did we throw it legitimately down the field? Less than 5. Less than 5. So not only did we not get the ball a bunch of times, but the times we did get the ball, we wasted 4 possessions on screens, 1-yard runs, and some dud flat routes. 3rd and 8, I'm seeing CJ throw a 3-yard route. I hate seeing it. And then he was skipping rocks here and there. So it was like, out of 60 plays, 30 was just in the trash. Just what are we doing? And then you add your little penalties here and there, and it was a very, very raggedy showing for a team with all this talent, with all this practice time, all this hype, and you're gonna get me started on why this quarterback competition is BS.
Because I'm beyond that. I'm beyond
What was the
quarterback
point?
conversation. My thing
Because it was
is,
distracting.
it's always left. It is almost like certain things are cursed at Notre Dame.
It's not cursed. It's not
No,
cursed.
no. It's not a curse. It's not a curse. But I'm saying it's like, look, man, I'm tired of getting young quarterbacks, and every young quarterback at Notre Dame has to get beat up because the offensive line is not good. Brady Quinn got beat up as a freshman. Clausen got beat up as a freshman. And last night I watched another young promising quarterback get beat up when the offensive line, led by captains and veterans, was supposed to be. This is the reason. Wait a minute. The offensive line and what it was going to be this year left was the reason why they said we're going to push our young quarterbacks back to 25 because the offensive line would be ready to support them. The offensive line wasn't ready to support a young quarterback last year. That's why we had to go get Riley. Right? That was the entire reasoning. That was the entire reasoning.
He was
We
getting
needed Riley Leonard last year because the offensive line wasn't good enough for a young quarterback to start. But now we got the offensive. We have the offensive line this year to support a young quarterback. And here we are again. I'm literally watching this young man go through the same thing Brady Quinn went through, same thing Jimmy Clausen went through. Exact same thing.
It wouldn't be as bad, though, if we didn't tell him that he has to run the ball 11 times, too. Because there's one thing to take hits when you're throwing the football. Okay, we get it. There's another thing to be taking hits because you got 11 carries, taking hits because then you're getting sacked, taking hits. Because now what rhythm can you get in the game? How can we expect this freshman who his first game is starting to overcome all these obstacles? You're telling him not only you got to throw us to win, but we're giving you called runs. So it's not like you can avoid a hit either. This is the same formula that had people speaking so down about Brandon Wimbush 7 games from now. Because 7 games from now, when Brandon Wimbush has the most carries on the team, he ain't got the most yards running the ball, but conversely has the most picks. And we're not, you know what I mean? It's all a culmination of you're putting too much on the kid to give you the results that the whole team can give you, but you're just choosing not to. It's no different than when we had all those running backs and we would just use one guy at a time. We had a full running back room full of CJ, Josh, Dex, and it was somebody, and Tony, and Tony. And in one season, we only used Josh. we ran Josh into the ground. And everybody's like, why don't we have other running backs? Why don't we get throw the ball? Well, we only use one player. Shout out to 2013. We threw the ball literally only to TJ Jones. That was it. And then Will came out of nowhere. That was at the end of the season. So I don't know if it's a curse or if it's just the thing that Notre Dame does. Like CJ Carr, the way we're treating him right now, he's either going to die as the greatest quarterback of all time at Notre Dame just from media hype and what we're asking him to do, or he's going to be over-processed because there's going to be so much groundswell for him and adulation, but you're going to ask him to do impossible things. It doesn't match. It doesn't match, and it's going to be bad for his psyche because he's going to get this perception that most guys do naturally, like Carson Beck did at Georgia, where he feels like he has to do everything to win the game. Now he's making crazy turnovers. Now he's taking risks that you're like, dude, just take the check down. Well, no, he's not going to take the check down because if he doesn't throw it deep, we're going to run the ball into the back of our lineman because we're not going to block, which is wasting it down. And then on 3rd and long, we're going to throw a screen. So we're basically getting off the field. So either he's the Sean and Trevor Lawrence, or we're nobody. Hey, what the heck?
Can I give you the 2 best moments of the weekend for me? The 2 best moments. I want to go to Saturday. It is a 4th down and 2 for Ohio State. They scheme a play for Jeremiah Smith to be 1-on-1.
Yes.
And this cat, Julian Sane, throws the ball to
Didn't
Max
throw it
Cliff.
Yep, didn't throw it to
And
him.
as soon as he got to the sideline, Ryan Day was like, look, man.
Look.
I don't know. I understand first time playing, but we got this dude named Jeremiah.
We got
number four, that on a 4th down last year, the national championship game, 4th and 11, or whatever, 4th and 2, the same situation. We call the same play. Throw him the ball.
Throw him the ball. It ain't even the ball. There ain't no thinking.
Now I go to the 4th quarter I go to the 3rd quarter last night, right before the interception, I believe. Right before the interception. Jeremiah Love runs 8 yards. He's starting to cook. Just like Jadarian. They call it RPO, and you make the decision to throw it. Young man, the same number, number 4, the same number. This dude just ran for 8, and he's starting to cook. Somebody needs to grab his jersey and say, look, give him the ball. I don't care if it is
stop hearing that. Oh, he's so heady, so intelligent. That's the intelligence we need. If you see him cooking,
give him the ball. Give him the ball.
Don't start thinking football theory. Oh, the box. Oh, the look. Oh, the feeling. No. Because what does the best teams do? We saw Ohio State do it. You said it perfectly. Hey, it's a close one. It's tight, but we got 4. So we're like we can theorize, we can scheme, we can do all that. But listen, we got 4. We're calling it for him, and that's it. We ain't thinking no other. Get rid of the RPO options for CJ. Stop giving him the chance to think through something. Hey, the best back in the country. Keep giving it to him. Period. That's the genius. That's the genius I want to see from CJ. Not, oh my God, it's 3rd down. I just ran. He just ran. Now I got to make another play. Oh, I got to think, okay, am I going to do this? No, it's too much. His thought process should be 4 or D. 4 or D. Play action, D, run the ball. That's it. Oh, okay. You don't like 4 or D. Okay, how about we do this? Give it to 24. 24 or D, or hit a phase on over the middle. Okay, they're backing up. Okay, now we throw 1 screen. Just one. I think we should just limit screens for drives to 3 per drive, and that's it. You get cut off. Cut the water off. After you hit 3 screens in a drive, you can't call that no more. Let's just X out the plays. X out the screens after 3. Now, go back to 4, 24. Oh, we're going to put 20 in the game? Okay, we throw 20 a little something. Oh, we need deep Greyhounds, deep MALIK. That's it. This whole CJ, read this. CJ, read this. Oh, CJ, quarterback power because we get the 1st down. Oh, CJ, I need you to do this, read this. Oh, avoid the sack. Oh, run for your life. No. Because guess what? We all, just like the fans, nominate CJ as the king, the answer, the franchise, and all of that. What do all of his teammates think? What do the older guys on offense think after a performance like they like, oh man, we back in that Riley show. We back in the Riley show. It's all about the quarterback. Jeremiah Love literally signed 2 nice NIL deals before the game. Nice ones. Icy hot. And what's that other one? It was a nice one.
You got that Shaq money.
Yeah, he got the icy hot. He got that Shaq money, and he got a comic book. Oh, this brother is a businessman. So he thinking like, okay, I gotta go out there and perform. Right? I gotta go out there and do my thug thizzle. Why am I not getting the ball? Now he's gonna press because on his runs he was slipping, falling. Like he was so ready to get the ball that when he got it, it was just he was thinking too far ahead and fell or slipped or whatever. And then he goes to the sideline. a guy like that, he's supposed to be rallying up the team, talking to his young quarterback. This man sitting on the sideline like, man, oh man. Well, because the thing is, how do you console the offense if everything's about the quarterback? What do you go say? Does a young quarterback cuss out the lineman? Gertie, you're getting whooped. You're getting whooped.
I want everyone.
I don't have the athleticism to get away.
No.
You can't get whooped like that off the rip. Off the rip.
So because you got lucky with the Micah Gilbert touchdown pass, but you tried it again. Like, dude, son, throw the ball away. But these are freshmen. You have to learn that. Every freshman quarterback has to learn when to throw the ball away, when to not try to do too much. I'm with that. I expected 2 or 3 of those situations in plays, right? He's trying.
We said we'll give you a turnover. We'll give it to you. You're young. I think he'll learn that he's like,
I'm not giving him that turnover. No, I take that back. That turnover, that right there. So in basketball terms, you're talking about MALIK. No, not the MALIK turnover. In basketball terms,
the tip.
I'm okay with turnovers as long as they are hit ball turnovers, meaning the other team is not getting the ball coming back in transition. Oh, like this. If I threw the ball out of bounds and we get to set up our defense, I'm cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think because it was like 3rd down on that, right? Or something like that.
The interception was unforgivable. Not because of the execution. It was unforgivable because Ford was cooking. It is no surprise in the 4th quarter that Notre Dame started cooking on offense because Ford began to hit the ball more and more. On the run, out the backfield, he was the guy. If you get him the ball, good things are going to happen. If you target him, good things are going to happen. And when you start getting him the ball, feed him. Make him tap out. Make him tap his helmet and say, Jadarian, come get me. And then let Jadarian go to work. That's why I'm going to say this, because I don't disagree with anyone that says the offensive line didn't play well last night. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. However, as a play caller, you have to get your offensive line in a run game rhythm.
Facts. Rhythm.
Offensive line, they have to get into a rhythm of run blocking. And when you don't call plays that allow them to get into a rhythm,
all them screens don't give you a rhythm. All them screens don't give you, because you catch it and getting it out. So it's literally a one step. It's a set hike, and then you're running around. You're not putting hands on nobody. So we done screened ourselves out of a run rhythm, and guess who we look like calling plays? Lincoln Stinking. We look like Lincoln Stinking Riley or Steve Sarkisian, who can't commit to the run. And it's like sickening. I said before the game, the 2 best and most impressive teams were teams that ran the football this week. Florida State and Georgia Tech. Teams that committed to running the football first. It didn't not run and have some success and then go away from it, because that's what we're so ready to do. We have the same problem as Texas right now. Texas is like, it's so in love with the allure of their quarterback that they would say, we're not running it to win the game. We're running it is only a fallout, only an option to what we're doing with the quarterback. And I'm like, dude, Arch Manning needs a run game. You can't just act like he's going to be his uncle and have 40 attempts a game and win it. No. He needs a run game, Sark. You avoid the run so much, and it's so obvious, because then it's like, okay, you want this man to be, okay, I see how you want Arch to die a legend. Because where's the run? Ohio State gonna face that too. You know, they're not running the ball too well. I don't like Ohio State's running backs. I don't know if it was the game but Ohio State's running backs are not Travion Henderson. They don't have that guy no more. But we have running backs, and we're like, We're like, nah, we want it to be this way. I just don't like it, man. It sucks. And this whole fake, oh, we're saving Jeremiah's love's legs and all this is BS. Because we didn't see the other one.
He's gone. He only has one season. What are you talking about? He's gone after the season.
But this whole
he's definitely not coming back to Notre Dame.
Not with 7 carries again. Not with 7 carries again. So my thing is like, let's not live that way this year, where we're living by this mythical, oh, we have so many running backs that Jeremiah Love only needs 7 carries in a game. No, I don't like that. Because if he's doing that, then that means that CJ has to have 180 carries, because we didn't even get the thing is we didn't use our special power, which was depth. We didn't use depth. That was our special power in the game, and we didn't even use it. That was what I was talking so crazy about the whole week, is that we got depth. We got guys we can pull out our butt. Even if you stop one, we got 3 more. We didn't even use them. It was a shame. I said, God, we make Malachi, Tony, and them boys in Miami look like they just the deepest, most physical. I'm like, dude, we didn't even throw you Neas. We didn't even throw you Jaden Grayhouse. We didn't even throw you Will Pollard. We didn't throw you Jack Larson. We didn't throw you the young running back that's pretty nice. We gave you 2 players and a teaspoon of Jadarian Price. 2 players with a teaspoon of Jadarian Price, a sip of water of Malachi Fields, and we only lost by 3. So it's just frustrating, because it's like, dude, Jaden Grayhouse was on all these commercials. Where is he at? Will Pauling is a captain. Where is he at? Where's Jabron Payne? Where's Aeneas with the slant and go? I was waiting for a slant and go. Where's the slant and go? I just seeing dud plays by the same players all game. It was like we was forcing it. It was like Denbrock was like, y'all want to see Jeremiah Love here. I gave it to him. I ran around with him. Here, I ran the ball again. Jeez, like, leave me alone. Let me call these complicated ass RPOs. Like, Jesus, like, we should just get rid of the RPO. I'm tired of seeing Eli Raridan run 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Either the ball gets skipped to him or he catches it for 2 yards. It's like, damn, what a beautiful play design for 2 yards. Now it's 3rd and 8.
Let me ask you something, and this might be controversial, but we spin it different. Yo, Mike Denbrock, that's your OC. That's your dog.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you how Mike Denbrock.
Wait. This is my question to you. Is he calling plays like he doesn't trust the O-line?
I think he always calls plays like the O-line is just there. It's not like they're the focus. You know what I mean? Like, he's not calling. He's like, man, they're going to hold up for about 3 seconds. I need you to give me like 2.5 more, push this thing deep, make a play down the field somewhere, or run around. The thing is that you just have to have a freaking dude. What's Alabama's biggest problem? Ty Simpson's just not good enough. He's just, you can say the O-line and all that, but I test and watch the game and watch him play. He's just flailing around. You're like, oh, this guy he's just not good enough. And that's just where college football is. Where certain teams, you have to be a certain level of good. You're just not gonna look good. Like Alabama is QB driven. They have 4 quarterbacks go first, second round. If you're not one of them 4, you're not falling in that line, you're just not going to look as good. It's just what it is. For Notre Dame, Denbrock is a feast or famine quarterback offense. He's like, Denbrock's like, listen, I'm going to give you 60%. That's all I got. Matter of fact, put it in food terms. Think of Ruth Chris. Ruth Chris got all the amazing sides. Got the sweet cream of corn, got the spinach, 5-star sides that can, for some people, fill them up. Some people just go for the sides, beautiful decorations and drinks, and the desserts are all beautiful. But then Brock's like, I'm gonna do all of these sides, but you gotta cook the meat. You gotta cook the meat. You know how you get all the sides all beautiful, and they bring the steak and it's sizzling on the plate, and you just, ooh, that's the crowning piece. That's Dim Brock how he calls plays. I'm gonna give you all the beautiful side dishes, but you gotta cook the meat. It's like you at your family reunion, your favorite cousin, favorite cousin has never got on the grill. Now you got all the family bringing all the great sides, the spaghettis, the green bean casseroles, the cookies, the fruit, all of the things that you can have. But SD, even though you like him, and this is one of your favorite cousins, and he's coming up, he's up and coming. He's never got on the grill before, but you like some of the food he's made. He's just never been in the big moment, and that's your favorite cousin. So no matter what he does, you're gonna have his back. You're not gonna put him on that family cookout grill and make him solely responsible for the most important thing of the cookout meal, which is the meats, the hot dogs and hamburgers. Even if that's your favorite cousin, you're not gonna do him like that. Because there's so much responsibility. You gonna tell, and you like him. So your favorite cousin you like so much, you're not gonna put in that position to cook the meat for the entire family because he's never done it before. Even though you like him. Because if he goes in there and doesn't do a great job, it's gonna be hard for you to say what's real about what he didn't do right cooking. You're gonna be like, I like you so much, but the cooking could have been better. You got potential. That's how we get you. You're going to be a good cook. Your meats are going to taste great. And you're saying that because you like them, but you don't want to tell them the truth. But today, in this day, you didn't cook great. The meat didn't get done. We had to order pizza. You will be good. You will be the future. You do got potential in cooking because I like you. So I'm going to just boost your head up. But in reality, today, your first time, it didn't go great. But we got all these great sides to cover up for it. We got the spaghetti. We got you some fish back there. So my thing is, Dim Brock is going to give you all of the things that can complement you being good. But he's going to require you to bring that it factor at the quarterback position. Jaden Daniels, when he won the Heisman, had 4,500 passing yards, about 1,000 rushing yards, about 40 or 50 touchdowns. That's a dude that's doing everything. Like, what do we mean? That's the dude that's doing everything. Now, vice versa, a Garrett Nussmeier who is just throwing the football, managing the offense, making some plays here and there. That's the position we want CJ to be in, not Garrett Nussmeier having 200 yards rushing, 300 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, had to make the game-winning play because it was tied up. Like, that was the difference between Cade and Garrett in that Clemson-LSU game. Clemson wasn't going to win unless Cade Klubnik played balled out. Garrett Nussmeier just had to not lose it, and they would have won the game, and they did. And what happens? Cade Klubnik gets put in the same position. I don't think he's gotten better any year he's played. He's the same guy. He gets panicked, flush out the pocket, and skips the ball, throws out of bounds, does something crazy. It's like rinse and repeat. That's why I'm like, Clemson, y'all ain't decided to go a different direction. Everybody caught out that last play. All right, Cade gave on the line, pressure him, make him run around, and he's going, whatever. So I don't want that to be for CJ's cause. I still think that the offense is going to be the defining factor in terms of what's going to make us win games. It's going to be offensive led. Defense is going to come along, man. Carson Hobbs is going to get better. Our secondary is going to figure it out. D-line, like I said, that one tweet said it all. Donovan Heinisch is going to have 3 sacks versus Purdue and a couple sacks in the next few games. And everybody's going to be like, oh, he's so great and all that. So it's like we're not going to see another test like this for a while, guys. That's the other thing.
No.
We're not going to see
A&M isn't a test.
No.
Texas A&M isn't a test.
No.
Texas A&M is. At this point, tests for Notre Dame.
Florida State.
No. I am not taking a step back. Ohio State is a test for Notre Dame. You raise the bar.
Yeah.
Ohio State is a test for Notre Dame. Texas is a test for Notre Dame.
Texas,
that wasn't supposed to be a test last night.
No. Last night was not supposed to be a test at all.
For the third, I said this last night, love. For the third consecutive game, I'm sorry, I put up 4 fingers. For the third consecutive game, Notre Dame was terrible in the first half of the game.
Yeah.
They were terrible. Actually, 4. They were terrible in the first half against Georgia. They were terrible in the first half against Penn State. They were terrible in the first half against Ohio State, and they were terrible in the first half against Miami. That's a head coach situation. Get it right.
Okay.
That falls on the head coach. It's becoming a trend. Why is it your team has bad first halves and always has to find a way to come back?
That's true.
Because I'm tired of hearing, I don't want to hear we played hard, we didn't give up. I don't want to hear that.
No.
That's par for the course for an athlete.
Yeah.
That's something we teach our kids in life in general. Don't give up.
Yeah,
don't give up. That's not something special. I'm sorry. That's not special for me, bro. I was taught that by my father since I was a kid. So not giving up is something that's this special trait, special quality. That's being a competitor. That's just being a competitor.
Being an athlete.
Literally, there's nothing special about that. Stop feeding us that.
Yeah.
You have competitors. They shouldn't give up.
Yeah, that's why you recruited them.
What elite teams do is they start fast
and find ways
to complete games. That's
right.
What elite teams do. They start fast,
absolutely.
and play full complete games against other teams. That's what elite teams do.
Because I'm not giving no credit to Miami and saying they were so more talented than we were. They was locking us up.
This is the point. When you set everything around playing harder and somebody else plays harder than you, which Miami did, you have nowhere to go. Miami played harder and tougher. They wanted it more at the end, and you had nowhere to go other than CJ save us.
That's what I'm saying. It was we put ourselves in that position. It was
and the kid showed that he has capabilities to do that.
Yeah,
he did not, as much as they talked about it, they did a poor job of managing him yesterday. He should have never been in the position to throw that interception. Never. They should have tied that game up right there. They should have tied that game up. They shouldn't have settled for a field goal. This is what I'm talking about. Notre Dame should have scored 35, 38 points last night.
Easily.
First time started at quarterback. They should have scored 35, 38 points last night. And it's not CJ's fault that they didn't. That's why it upset me, Left. That's why it upset me when I saw the players walking off the field and everybody's walking up to him, patting his helmet. Like, God, he knows it's not.
Oh, my God.
He's good. That's the last player I'm worried about after this last player. He's good.
That made me sick, Sean. That made me sick. What you pat me for? You pat me for it. Yeah.
He's good. How about you get yourself together? How about that? Yeah. How about you make a play, Adon Schuler, when you have the opportunity? How about that? How about you make a play?
Yeah, how soft is that? You going for the pick on the 1 yard? Man, you better blow him up.
Billy Schrauth, make plays. Derby Lambert, how about knowing the play? How about not missing an assignment? How about that? How about Eli Raritan? How about not dropping passes? How about that? Somebody needs to tap the helmet and make them feel better about what they put on tape yesterday. That's who needs consolation. He doesn't need any consolation. I watched his body language. You don't have to worry about him. The last thing he's going to lose is confidence. Like I said, what we don't want him is to get this complex that he has to do everything. That's the worst thing for his development. the absolute worst thing that could take place for his development. It's crazy. Just crazy. Well, we've talked offense for an hour. We have to talk about the defense. You and I differ on the defense. You said you really didn't have a problem with the defense, so I'm gonna let you rock first, and then I'll
defensively. I mean, we look just like we did against freaking Ohio State. Like, it looked like we didn't change anything or got any better from a game planning standpoint than it looked like the Ohio State game. We didn't get any pressure on the quarterback. He did whatever he wanted. And when that happens, he starts chipping away at us with, 5-10 yard pass plays. And then you start adding on to the fact they ripping off 5, 6, 7 yard runs. We played well in spots. We started too slow and was too passive defensively, just like offensively. I mean, how many times we going to try to keep everything in front of us, let routes run in front of us, get beat on little one-on-ones? I mean, we wasn't physical and as intense as we were in the past. It's like we kind of played it like, all right, guys, this is cute. Let's just rally and make a tackle. But it was nothing of imposing our will on their offense. I don't think we imposed any will on their team. I think we just played the game because it was a game to be played. It's like we were just out there like, all right, third down. We made the tackle, but we gave up 5 on a 3rd and 2. Like, damn, the refs and blowing the whistle. Oh, my God. It would be get to some forward progress, a standstill. They don't call it. It moves back. They don't call it. It moves back forward, and then they call it. So I'm like, when is the forward progress stop for the whistle to blow? Oh, my God. Like, I'm thinking we're making good stops, and then I'm not hearing no whistle. And then they start piling on and pushing it. So I don't know if I can blame our team for that. Obviously, get him on the ground and don't do that. But some plays I thought we would have made, but the whistle went too long. And then obviously everything else was, we only lost by 3 points. And I think us giving up 24 points in the first game is bad compared to how we were the last 2 seasons. But it's the first-year defensive coordinator. I've been saying that before the season started. No matter how good we are talent-wise, having a first-year head coach or first-year defensive coordinator, it just changes things. It just makes it a little different when the bullets start flying. We'll figure it out as the team goes on. But because of that, we're an offensively led unit if we want to win these games and go 12-0, like I said. This is not going to be the defensive teams from the last 2 years that we can have a pity party on offense, BS for 3 or 4 quarters, and then put up 30 points at the end because our defense has been stingy all game. No, our defense couldn't stop a nosebleed yesterday and still kept the game within reach. But that's how the team's going to go right now until somebody on offense, CJ or whoever, says, all right, I'm turned up. I'm going to execute on these mistakes, But defensively, I like what I saw, though, from certain players. Boubacar Traore came back looking good, putting pressure on guys. Oh, my gosh. Our spring player of the year, Jason Onye, where you at? Did you get left in the spring? I mean, I need him to be a little bit better. Who else? The transfer from Louisville made a couple plays, not enough. He was getting double teamed all day, which he's getting crushed. Jake Bowen just looked a little slow. I thought he was, I thought he was there most of the time. Just looked a little slow, getting places. Slow on blitzing. I don't know if he was hesitating or it just wasn't fast enough. But then again, I can't blame him because Carson Beck's throwing the ball in 2.5 seconds. I mean, he was just like these little dump balls. So I don't know. I think we can be more physical and be more aggressive. We were just way too passive. We just let them do whatever they wanted. And when you let Carson Beck get comfortable, he's not terrible. He's going to warm up eventually. And he starts picking you apart and add the run game where I don't think they had too many explosive runs, but they had some deafening ass runs where they killed us for 3 or 4 yards at a time.
I couldn't agree with you more. And I think I'm going to piggyback and hitch my wagon to what you just said, especially towards the end. The one thing because people forget Al Golden struggled early in his tenure as defensive coordinator, particularly with like questionable play calls. So we did expect a difficulty in transition. The difference with Corey Heatherman, who also was coming in as a first-time defensive coordinator at Miami, new defensive coordinator, he had a low bar. So it really didn't matter what Miami did. It was going to be better than what was last year. Chris Ash is walking into a situation where the standard is already set. That's a much more difficult situation. But Al Golden struggled situationally in the beginning. But what I loved about Al Golden, which I think if you go back to that Ohio State game, some bad calls, a double safety blitz, other things in that fourth quarter that you question. What you cannot question was his game plan coming into the game and what he took away from Ohio State that had Notre Dame ahead 10-7 in that game late into the third quarter. That was the brilliance of Al Golden, which goes directly to what you said, Left, when you say we allowed them to do what they wanted to do. Al Golden refused to allow teams to do what they wanted to do. He literally forced teams to do or to go to option B and option C. This is what you do best. We're taking that away. We're flat out taking it away. Now what are you going to do? We're taking it away. Notre Dame comes out. Great drive, Shannon Dawson. I believe he kind of set that up. He saw what they did. They came out with some things on that drive, mixed it up well. They thought Notre Dame would come out trying to adjust to the run, and they took advantage of it, got some chunk plays in the passing game, ended up scoring the touchdown. After that, the Notre Dame defense and Chris Ash, they adjust. They get consecutive stops that allow Notre Dame to get back into the game. So for the most part, and don't forget, after the turnover in the first half, the Malachi Fields fumble, the defense was stout. They stopped the Miami offense, quick turnaround, kept them off the board. The defense had bright spots. Here's the irony, because we're going to hear Marcus Freeman coming up in a few minutes. Notre Dame fans, here's the irony. The two spectacular pass plays that Miami had were probably two of the best individual pass rush situations for Notre Dame all night. That's the crazy thing. KVA comes in, Carson Beck slides to the left, avoids him, here's Malachi Tony. That's a sack opportunity. You tip your cap to Carson Beck for just stepping to the side, throwing that lollipop up there. Because it was indeed a lollipop. The double move that CJ Daniels puts on Leonard Moore, who, by the way, this guy right here, while everybody was throwing flowers at the feet of Leonard Moore, I was the one that said Leonard Moore, sophomore year, is going to be challenged. He has yet to face adversity. Everyone will face adversity. Everyone will have tough games. Leonard Moore had he hadn't had his yet, but it was coming.
He hadn't had his yet.
That's part of life.
But are you calling it a tough game? And he didn't. I mean, it's like he didn't give up.
Yes, they were eating him up on hitch routes, and yes,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Eating him up on little, but that goes back to playing passive. I'm saying that's a coaching thing, not a player thing. If you're getting beat, if you're getting beat for explosive plays and touchdowns, I think that's a player. That's a player thing. If you're letting the guy catch a hitch constantly over time, it's got to be coaching, because that's not even who he is. Christian Gray was who he was. Christian Gray he's going to make great plays. He's going to get beat sometimes. But more so than not, he's going to make good plays. That's Christian Gray. Leonard Moore was just letting everything happen. Like, he didn't get beat.
But once again, what is the thing? I'll say it again. See, people can say what they want to say. As a defensive back, when you do your job over 90% of the time, you're a darn good defensive back.
Yeah.
You sit up here and nitpick, oh, this play, that play. Man, that's whatever, dude. 90% of defense is there are only the top 5% of defensive backs in the NFL that don't grab. Every defensive back grabs and holds.
Facts.
Every single one. Facts. Some of the best.
Every play
and holders.
Every play.
There are some grabber and holders in the Hall of Fame at defensive back. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
More times than not, you're getting grabbed or held on a play. Like more times.
The problem with Christian Gray. He has one problem. One problem left. And it goes to, you remember that batted ball that Jared Dawson had in the red zone?
Yep.
If the ball is not batted, Christian Gray picks it off.
Yeah.
Go watch the replay. He undercuts the mesh route. Beck throws it. He's going to pick it off and take it back to the house.
Yeah.
You know why? That's his playing style. That's his playing style. Allow him to play his game.
Yeah.
Don't ask him to be in off man. Don't ask him to be in zone. You know why?
That's not his game.
He's going to take the risk in off man.
Yes.
He's not going to be patient in an off man. He's going to take the risk.
That's who he is.
When he gets beat, he holds like the majority of defensive backs hold. When they take a risk and get beat.
He just have to have crazy hold. His hold. Man. Remember his hold against Penn State? It was just like a bad one. It was like, nah, you held.
Crazy, dude.
But I don't know. I feel like I'm living and dying with that. I like that.
And we're talking about look, bro. So we're not gonna talk about the very next play, his pass breakup. We're not going to talk about that first half pass breakup where he jumps with his left hand and he gets hurt. Forget all the incredible plays he made. Forget all the incredible plays he made. Because we at Notre Dame for years, we watched defensive backs get burnt at Notre Dame.
Facts. He's making play. He's in the mix. I mean, he's great. I think he's great.
Now,
it's just he's not.
I can't speak to the. I have been consistent. I've been asked last year, stop grabbing.
He's gonna grab. I don't know.
Trust yourself. Trust your athletic ability because he is. You can tell. Go back to the Ohio State game. He recognizes he's smart. He knows the game, and he goes off tendencies, and he tries to dump things. That's what he does. That's what he does. And to allow him to do that, you have to allow him to play his game.
Yeah.
You put him in a place where he's in between, the vast majority of the time when he gets beat deep is because he's an off man. When he's an off man, he's trying to be aggressive coming forward because he hates. I've been at practices where people have caught a hitch route in front of him, and he is irritated. It's almost like don't allow anybody to get the ball in front of me. He is irritated. So when you put it off coverage, he is so aggressive that his technique to be able to turn and run instead of grabbing first is almost like his mindset first is to grab. Don't grab, turn and run. You are long. You can run, turn and run and get into the body and then play the ball. It's just purely technique. That's all it is. It's purely technique. That's all it is. But we make these long swings. He's not a dude. Relax. Relax. Just like this is second year starting. His second year starting. Who is he? He's a darn good defensive back. I know the NFL scouts that watch him in practice are like, yeah, we love 6. So it doesn't matter what we think because we're looking at snapshots. We're looking at 1 or 2 plays out of 70 and then trying to say, put a label on him, but he's not a dude. Yeah, but the talent evaluators like him. They like him. And we need to step back and have an honest evaluation. Yes, I didn't like the pass interference, but heck, I would rather have that pass interference than on 3rd and long to have my All-American, preseason All-American get beat by a dude that transferred that wasn't playing where he was and get embarrassed. I'm more embarrassed by that play than I am the pass interference because at least the pass interference, we still have a chance to stop them and get the ball back.
Right.
But like I said, we just don't forget the 2 incredible plays he made, PBUs he had in the first half, and then the very next play on Josh Moore, he gets the PBU. Forget those. We just want to highlight the one play.
It's literally 1 or 2 plays. It's literally 1 or 2 plays that
I watched Leonard Moore get worked on hitches and comebacks last night.
That's it. That's all they were
I'm talking about 2 to 3 yards of separation.
Big down.
They didn't pick on Leonard Moore last night on 3rd downs in the first half. They didn't pick on him.
I'm not calling hitches and all that picking on.
It's
getting bombed on.
When you get converted on 3rd down, it's a problem when you're American. When you're a preseason All-American and you're supposed to do that,
3rd down supposed to be your down.
When you are the dude, because if we're gonna say Christian Gray ain't the dude, a dude doesn't get beat on a double move like that. Dude doesn't get not that bad. No, a dude doesn't get beat like that.
No.
All I'm saying is be fair.
That's true.
Be fair. If we're going to isolate 1 or 2 plays, isolate it for the other dudes too. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair.
Isolate it for the other dudes. Because Leonard Moore didn't play good yesterday. And I said that was coming. Did I not say that was coming?
He was due for
anointing him. I said he's going to struggle. He's going to have a game in his sophomore year that he struggles. Why? Because everybody has to face adversity. Everybody.
Yeah. Everybody got to go through it.
Everybody. So what? He's not Deion Sanders. So what? He's not Patrick Surtain II. Do you understand? Go back to the defensive back play we've had previous to these 2 young men coming here.
Yeah.
And be honest. It hasn't been that good. So be thankful that we're at this level of defensive back play.
Yeah, it's a pretty high level at defensive back.
It's a man. The era you played in, the defensive backs you play. Let me stop because I'm not trying to.
Okay, yeah. They were
back play in 15.
They got drafted.
Bruh, see, I go back to the A.
Shout out to I
go back to the Bob Davie era and the Ty Willingham era, bro. It's been some lean years when it comes to defensive back play, bro. That's why the conversation. That's why I just want to throw that in there. Like sometimes we can focus so much on the bad that we don't realize, and it's just in life. We can focus so much on the bad and not understand the moment and how the moment can really grab your heart and latch on to it. But if you really have an honest view, it's really small in the big picture of how blessed we really are in life. The vast majority of us, because the rest of the world is really going through some stuff.
Yeah.
Like we're dealing with some stuff, but the rest of the world is really going through some stuff. So I'm going to say this, as bad as the O-line was yesterday. I watched college football all weekend. Man, there's some work. Did you see
It's
Alabama's O-line? Wait, did you see Alabama's O-line? Did you see Alabama's O-line?
Couldn't stop a cold. I'm talking about. I mean, but there was some bad one-on-one losses we had last night.
Bro. Did you see Colorado O-line?
About the coaching, I was like, wait a minute, are we getting coached that type of like the last two plays of the game was in question. Emil Wagner, either he didn't hear the snap.
Did you see the spin? That dude spun and put his back to the.
The dude got beat so bad, Emil turned and ran like he full sprinted to where like the DM was like, this ain't no race, and bumped him out the way. I'm like, whoa, like either he didn't hear the snap count to get out of stance. I was like, CJ, I don't know what to tell you, but that's it. It was almost as bad as the one, what was it, the Penn State lineman that got beat and then started telling the quarterback to throw it. He was like, throw it. I gotta find that clip. The lineman got, I think it was a Texas Ohio State game. Lineman got beat inside so bad, he turned around and was like yelling at the quarterback to throw it because he knew it was over with. So there was some definitely one-on-one losses that I haven't seen since Bill Polian was the O-line coach, where it was just now, once again, Miami's best thing about their team was the pass rushers. So, I mean, best versus best, they got the advantage in that one. So, I think more so, is it stuff we can clean up? Absolutely.
Now, I got to respond to this. Once again, when you are a All-American, I don't want to hear about that first half, first play. You're a dude every snap. Every snap, you are a dude. Travis Hunter didn't wait till the second half to get revved up in games, bro.
No.
He was the focus and the playmaker from the beginning. Caleb Downs didn't wait until the second half, did he? Caleb Downs was making plays.
He played good. He played good off the rip. He definitely played.
When you are that dude, you're supposed to be that dude. I don't want to hear nothing. I had a bad first. No, stop that. Stop. I don't want to hear that. Malachi Tony beat him in the fourth quarter. It was just a bad throw. Let's be honest about it. Go watch the play again.
Malachi Tony was eating all day. I mean,
so let's stop.
It was just plays defensively. It was just plays defensively where I was like, well, what was the call? Because they played always when they played. It was always when they played the other copy where it was the going into the end zone copy instead of the side view. And some of them plays, I'm like, guys are running around, and I'm like, what was the play call? Because this blown open coverages and communication errors, and I'm like, this fits a first year defensive coordinator, them fixing out the things, but it's not telling because I told you I'm not changing nothing. I'm just going with the flow. Well, that didn't look like the flow last game. That looked like we're still trying to figure out what we're doing type of D.
And you know what, dude? The chat is like amazing today because everybody is solid on their points, man. And I'm gonna take a step back because it's starting to bring up. I'm not mad at anybody in the chat, bro. I'm still irritated about this game. I'm just irritated, bro. Yeah. I'm irritated because your best players didn't play like your best players. The captains didn't play like captains. That includes everybody. Leonard Moore, Drake Bourne, Chris, everybody. Boubacar is the only one that played like Boubacar.
Boubacar played good.
The only one that played like Boubacar, that played like who they are, was Boubacar and KVA. The KVA spots. Let me explain the KVA situation. I'm going to attempt to read the tea leaves, right? Okay. Because most people, and I'm going to give coach the benefit of that. I know most people are going to say KVA needs to play more snaps. And when you constantly see him in the small sample size being put in a certain position,
right?
He's always put off the edge to come make a play. Meaning they recognize that's what he's really good at.
Really good at. That's what Snead did this first couple years.
Maybe he's not really good at being the middle linebacker, making all the checks and making all the calls yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to give the coaches the benefit of the doubt to say, as I saw somebody in the chat say, Trey Bourne is just a teacher's pet, all of that. No, maybe he's good. Maybe he's good at what he does and what it takes to be the middle linebacker. Is he faster and more athletic than KVA? No. But is KVA capable of calling everything? I don't know.
But maybe Drake was better.
If he was, exactly. Because if he was, then we have a conversation. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough access to price. I can't tell you whether or not.
I mean, shooting the way the coaches talk,
is he better than Jalen Snead? If I were the coach, I'd probably go ahead and just say Drake, KBA, rock it.
Yeah,
I probably would at this point.
If we went to a 4-2-5, we would.
Yeah,
if we went to you can both out there.
Jalen Snead was absent last night. He was absent. Bryce Young was absent. But once again, remember when I caution fans about Little Moore being challenged this year, nobody wanted to listen to me, love. When I caution fans, it's going to be a breakout season for Bryce Young. Relax. He wasn't even supposed to play last year. He played because of injury. He was supposed to be strictly special teams and development last year. Relax. He's still learning. He is still a pup. Relax.
We did look a little small.
I agree with I forget who said it about expectations. I do agree that expectations get pumped up. Expectations get pumped up. I always talk to people. Understand that these kids are either freshmen or sophomores.
Yeah.
And when you go to your big time programs, unless you're special, I'm talking about just flat out special from the jump, like Cal Hamilton, you don't pop into your junior year. That's just the way college football is. Special people, from the time you get on campus, Cal Hamilton, Caleb Downs, and you remember Caleb Downs got picked on in his first start when he faced Texas. He got picked on, and he was special.
He was special. Yeah, he was special.
He was special, but he had to go through it, and by the end of the season, he was the best player on their defense.
Yeah, he's the best player.
So look, man, look. It's frustrating. I feel for the Notre Dame fans today. I really do. Situationally, if Notre Dame is better situationally, they probably give up 17 points yesterday. And you take away the turnover, honestly, just one or two plays here, that's a 17-point performance yesterday by the defense. But if we're a fifth, we'd all be drunk. So they gave up 27. You look at the stats. They're pretty even, right? But this is why stats can be deceiving. Stats can be deceiving because just watch the game, and the more physical team was Miami. I don't care what the stats say. Miami was the more physical team. Let me ask you a question. Whether you're a Notre Dame fan, and I hope we can be objective, whether you're a Notre Dame fan watching right now or whether or not you're a Miami fan. If you're a pro scout, who's the better quarterback today? If you were evaluating talent at the position, who's the better quarterback yesterday? It's a fair question. because the stats would say CJ Carr had a better game. That's what the stats would say. CJ Carr out. Notre Dame fans, the announcement was made on the 19th of August. If I said CJ Carr was going to outplay Carson Beck, there's no way anybody would have believed that Notre Dame would lose that game. Nobody. This is why life in sports is so amazing, right? Because there's so many different equations that lead to outcomes, and you just never know. You can't go by the trends. You can't go by what you know. You can't go by the stats. So many different things happens in games that lead to certain outcomes. And one thing that would have been told to Notre Dame fans, if it were told to us before the game, if someone told us CJ Carr was going to be even with or outplay Carson Beck, that I'm not even a betting man left, but I would have zailed you money to go to FanDuel and place a bet for me so that my name wouldn't be on it left. That's how much I would have been like, Notre Dame's winning that game. CJ outplayed Carson Beck. Oh, we're not losing that game. There's no way we're losing that game. None. Even if he just played them even. I'm not.
Because Carson Beck, like you said, Carson Beck's supposed to be X, Y, and Z. So
that's what I'm saying. He's a senior. He's supposed to play like that.
Right.
When you have a youngster playing his first game, and for Carson Beck, Carson Beck was impressed. He's doing an interview on the field after the game, and he's like, yo, CJ Carr balled out. Carson Beck is talking about CJ Carr in his post-game interview on the field. He's like, man, CJ Carr balled out. That lets you know. I would much rather CJ had put up 170 yards on 25 throws and Notre Dame ran for 160 yards and won the game and played Notre Dame football defensively. See, that's why you got to pick and choose, right? And people are like, yo, he threw what he did. What? He outplayed Carson Beck? Yeah, he did. Future is bright. But you still could have seen that the future was bright with 175 yards and 3 rushing attempts. 25 passes. You didn't have to give him that game plan in order for us to see that the future was bright.
We asked more of
and we don't have to. I said that to say this for the defense, because I said all of that to say this for the defense. If I told you, because I believe Left, you said 115. If I told you that the 5th best rushing offense was held to 118 yards on the ground, but less than 4 yards a pop, you would have felt really good about Notre Dame winning that game.
Yeah.
That's why I said, if you look at the stats, you say to yourself, yeah, it really wasn't as bad as I felt like. It wasn't as bad as I felt like. This is where I had to step away from the stats, because it was just as bad. It was. It was bad. It was bad defensively. It was absolutely bad defensively. It was a bad situation. No. Bad because of what you say. This is offensive line, defensive line driven team and program. That's what your head coach says all the time. Well, if that's the case, that's bad. What we saw, I don't care what the stats say. I watched the line get pushed at will. When they wanted to run the ball, they ran the ball.
They pushed it. We looked small.
I watched an offensive coordinator not make any adjustments to take away what Miami wanted to do. You allowed them to do what they wanted to do. You can't do that.
What,
You don't
defensively?
allow, yes. You don't allow a 7-minute drive. You don't allow a 7-minute drive out of halftime. What are we doing? And you're
Chris Ash? Yeah. It was unacceptable.
What are we doing? Anybody
That
can
killed,
see.
That killed us right there. They was 7 minutes.
Anybody can see when Gator Rubio and Jared Dawson were in the game on the inside, it was totally different.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Donovan Heinrich, but look, bro. Hey,
you need some more bricks in that back pocket. That's all it is. More bricks back there. Because when they wanted to, they did.
Yes.
And that's if it's that situation where they wanted to and they did, then it's like you have to be smart enough to be like, okay, this is not my time to be in right now. Because it was so many different third and shorts and second and shorts and third and not that much that if we just had
right after the Christian Gray penalty, they get them the third too.
It's like, dude, we didn't look big when it came down to 3rd and 2, and it was like, oh, they're balling us, and then they jump and then they push the pile for it's like, damn, where's getting through we didn't have nothing to penetrate. That's all I'm saying. Nothing to penetrate. It was just embarrassing because, I mean, you look at like Ohio State, for instance. When Ohio State was on the 1-yard line against Texas and Arch Manning went up there for a QB sneak, I already knew they wasn't getting that because Ohio State's D-line just looked the part. And then when they snapped the ball, there was no push against Ohio State's D-line. They big up front. With us, it was just like, but pre-snap, it didn't feel as if we were going to stop them on any third and shorts. And then where was the rallying? I saw a bunch of guys standing around while they pushing the pile back and forth. It's like, man, where is the aggressiveness? So I didn't like the fact that we just seemed so soft in the interior of our D-line with, what was it, 22 D linemen that we rotating through. We couldn't find stockier guy. I don't know. It just didn't look great.
No. It's the same thing with the offensive line. The problem is not the talent. The problem is who is playing next to who.
Yeah.
You can be a captain. You can give spirited speeches. But, bro, if you can't anchor and you constantly getting pushed off the ball, you can't be on the first team.
You just can't be on.
You can't. And like somebody said in the chat, second, third game, he's going to have a couple of sacks and tackles, and we're going to sit here and act like everything is good into the playoffs when they make, or if they make the playoffs and play a better team, all of a sudden it resurfaces. No.
I mean, truthfully, he played like that versus Ohio State, getting blown off the ball, can't get no penetration as a three.
The first half against Penn State, it's a trend. This is what I'm talking about.
Too light.
Defensively, in the first half, it's the same thing. And the coaching staff, you're going to continue to watch that over and over again. You're going to watch your interior get pushed. In particular, certain players get pushed. First half against Penn State. Start the game against Ohio State. Now,
all game.
We're just watching that. We're just going to keep watching that. I don't care if he's a captain. I need production.
That's what I'm saying. I don't care if you're a captain. If you're getting pushed, I mean, that's your whole job, is to hold the line of scrimmage. And it just became a cumulative effect. He's getting bullied, and then it bleeds over to a linebacker getting pushed. Now he like, damn, get these linemen off of me. Now it was just like you said, whenever Miami wanted to run,
they ran.
Yards.
They ran.
They was getting. Our only TFLs came from when they didn't run up the middle, honestly. Like when the end crashed a little bit, like Traore came down a little hard.
Can I say something? Because we're going to keep it a buck, right? Marcus Freeman, his first spring, came to the podium after practice and made some comments about Blake Fisher because he could. You remember this left? It was hot. It was like high 90s. Blake Fisher couldn't finish practice. Overexerted himself. Had to go get fluids. He ripped him publicly. Anthony Knapp better get the same treatment.
Yeah.
Anthony Knapp, what are you talking about? Unless we find out that he had the flu or something. Bro, what? Notre Dame ran 55 plays, bro.
That's
55. You tapping out? Notre Dame ran 55 plays and you didn't play all of the plays. You tapping out?
And most of them plays with screens and stuff. It wasn't even like you had to block.
He was cramping up.
Some of those things had to play a factor because some of the ways one-on-ones was just too. It was like you got beat because you was tired. That's some of them, like the Emil Wagner, them last two plays stand out so much because it looked like we got beat off of pure being tired. Like it was, you're like, oof. So,
my man is out there, like they said, yeah, he's on the sideline reporting. He's on the sideline eating popsicles. Like, what?
That's almost on the level of being soft. How you like how?
Like Ruben Bain wore you out that much, bro.
On 55 plays?
And that's how many plays they had as a team. He only played probably 48, 45.
Oh, Marcus Freeman.
I really hope that he was dealing with an illness, a cold or something that kind of zapped his energy and he didn't have as much energy as he normally would have. I hope that was the case.
First game. This is the first game.
You playing 45 plays cramping? Come on, man.
Oh man, yeah. Where's Charles Jagusah when you need him?
You know what, Brendan? Yes. It was like 75 at kickoff. It was 75, but 75 down in Florida is different because it's extremely humid.
No, I'm sure the weather probably wore on people because it did when
it rained, so it probably was extra. The humidity was probably extra high after the rain, but still, I'm not using that as an excuse. You only played like 45 some plays, bro. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, the Heinrich thing is gonna make me upset because it's just like we're missing something. He's a good player against the right teams, but we can't keep using the excuse against better teams that he just. I mean, that type of performance is just not gonna ever get it done. Because that leads to the bigger problems. It's like, okay, you can't get no pressure on the quarterback. They're running the ball at will whenever they need to. It's not too much you can do after that. I mean, come on, like what? Carson Beck was back there cooking sandwiches, back there playing patty cake. I don't even think his jersey got dirty. Did he even break a sweat?
Look, bro.
Did he hit the ground?
Look, bro, top down, both sides of the ball. You didn't do what you needed to do. I don't even want to water it down to say you didn't do what you needed to do to win the game. No, you didn't do what you needed to do to be Notre Dame. Meet the standard, regardless of the opponent. That's the problem. That's why we keep going through the same cycle. Meet the standard. Meet the standard that is Notre Dame football. You said it, Marcus Freeman. You set the standard that this is an O-line and D-line driven program. You set that standard. Meet it. Meet it from the first snap in games against good teams. Meet that standard. And if you can't meet the standard, then the buck starts with you.
Does any of this follow Al Washington?
It starts and stops with you.
Does any of this follow Al Washington?
Are you serious?
Wait
a minute, because we said this, Left. We said this.
We said it.
You know who went back to their hotel room feeling good? Gino Baduli. Gino was like, yep, I told you I had it. I told you I've been letting this marinate for 2 years. I told you I had the dish ready. I had the dish ready. Give me a food analogy, Love, of what he cooked up. I know you have one for me. Give me a great. What needs to marinate for a long time, for a couple of days? What needs to marinate? That cat Gino's like the chef that comes out to your table because he know what he brought to you to send to your table is fire, and he comes to your table after you ate like, how was it?
It was a chef special day.
Yes.
He had a chef special.
That's how Gino is this morning.
No, Gino
fan base.
Gino
how was that? You like that? You like what I cooked up?
See, he can't feel too good because we didn't win the game now. Can't feel too good, but he feel better than Al Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee he feel better than Al Washington because at the end of the day, Gino can say, our guy gave us a chance. Did any of your guys give us a chance, Al Washington? And you have more options. Traore came to play off of injury. Great. Good to see. I can't remember without watching the tape back what D lineman made impact.
Jason Onye in the second half produced 2 holding calls. I did see that. On pass rushes, he was about to break through, and he was pulled down by Okunwala. Other than Gabriel Rubio and Josh Burnham in the run, Josh Burnham played his butt off in the run game.
Yes. I think we did good from the outside perspective, helping the run game. But it was
left. I'm not trying to say Left be knowing. We know you be knowing. That's a hashtag, Left be knowing. But who was it that fans got upset with me when I said my biggest concern was the pass rush? Did I not say that, Left? Did I not say that all summer? Did I not say all summer? I hear you. We got this guy coming back. We got that guy. I know the defense is going to be good. Where's the pass rush coming from? I said, where's the pass rush coming from? People are like, well, I'm not concerned about the pass rush. I'm like, okay. All right.
Hey, Al Washington and Marcus Freeman better not come out talking about sacks don't matter this year. You can't say sacks don't matter this year. Because I could have looked at about 4 or 5 instances where sacks could have mattered yesterday. But this whole, I just don't understand. Is our D-line set to let the linebackers make plays? Maybe that's why we don't get penetration. It's because we're just somehow two-gapping for Drake and all the linebackers to play in the gaps or something. I don't know. Because even in our blitzes, it didn't look like we were blitzing to get the ball. It looked like we were blitzing to hit a spot. Like, I'm not blitzing to get a sack. I'm blitzing because my gap to blitz is over here. It just didn't look like I don't know, man. The D-line not making any impression on an offensive line that I think is good, but they're not Joe Moore Ward. I mean, obviously we made them look like that yesterday, but guys, that performance from D-line looked no different than the Ohio State D-line performance. It looked no different.
No different.
Look no different. We got 9 or 10 more D linemen. We got all this new stuff we got going on, and it looked the exact same. Non-effective. And for us to be non-effective on the D line and lose by 3 points against a top 10 team, I'm not worried about the long run. We'll get better. But to have no presence on a D line in a game that, like I said, I'm just going to be upset watching how this game gets shrouded over all these terrible games that we're going to win, where our D-line is going crazy. and we become real revisionist history about what took place against a good team. So, like I said, we won't see another challenge like this for a while, in my opinion. But it's not going to get over the same mistakes and the problems we had last year that didn't get exposed until the championship game. We wasn't a great throwing team, and if we got down, we wasn't a great team coming back because we couldn't score in bunches fast like that. What happened? Played against a team that could balance out our defense and score some points against our defense. We got down early, and we couldn't score. What's the problem this year? If we can't get no D-line push, all of these slightly above average quarterbacks are going to get drafted like Tyler Shuck did because we're going to make them look so good. We made Carson Beck look like a top 5 quarterback this year. Remember, we got Tyler Shuck drafted off of one game. Carson Beck got drafted off of last night. Come on. So Joe Rudolph, but this also goes to the questions around the O-line.
I just want and see everything we're saying about the O-line and D-line will not be answered against Texas A&M. They won't.
No.
They won't. I don't care what the performance is. If the performance stays the same, this season and this team might be in trouble, regardless of whether or not they win the game. If the performance in the trenches does not improve, now panic needs to set in.
Yes.
Let me tell you why. Texas A&M faced University of Texas San Antonio. University of Texas San Antonio ran the ball for 203 yards on Texas A&M. I'm going to say this again. If Notre Dame does not watch this film and say to themselves, Jadari and Jeremiah are getting 15 touches apiece.
Now, which means 30 carries total.
33 carries for 203 yards. 6.2 yards a pop.
I would be sick if Jeremiah Love has 7 carries in this game. Sick.
So that right there should be a challenge. Mike Denbrock should bring the offensive line and Joe Rudolph into his room and say, do you see this? I have one question. What do you think we're doing next game? What do you think the game plan is going to be against Texas A&M?
What do you think the game plan is going
to be? The game plan is going to be run the ball. Hold on. I'm not done. Marcus Freeman and Chris Ash, you need to bring the defensive line and Al Washington into the film room.
Bring him into the film room, yes.
Because against the University of Texas San Antonio, Texas A&M, they ran the ball 22 times for 110 yards. Now, mind you, that sounds really good because that's 5.5 a carry. However, in the first half, before the game got out of hand, they only had 39 yards on the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why Texas A&M proves nothing to me. Proves nothing to me.
Nothing.
That's not a trench test. That's not a true trench warfare test for Notre Dame. It's not. It's not. There is nothing we're going to see in this regular season that is going to prove that this team is trench warfare ready to win a national championship. Yeah. We won't see it until we get to the playoffs. If they make it to the playoffs.
If we make it to the playoffs.
Because in 4 games, they have lost the trench warfare battle.
In games that matter.
Except for the defense beating up the Georgia offensive line. That's the only battle that they really won. That's the only battle they won. was the Notre Dame defensive line beating up the Georgia offensive line, and that Georgia offensive line was bad. Bad, love. They were bad. So I don't even know if we can count that as a victory. You did win the battle against Penn State in the trenches.
Definitely did win that one.
My man, I forget his name. My man,
Carter.
Abdul Carter, one arm in a sling, just
in a sling. Yeah, it was causing hell.
Doing whatever he wanted. Dennis Sutton Powell just dominating. It came out, ran the ball, both running backs. I still can't believe that you won the game. Still can't believe it. That just goes to show you that's just a James Franklin-led team.
Right.
That's what that is. You was just facing a James Franklin team. The defense.
I don't know how I feel about Eli Raridon either. That was a good point.
Oh, too many drops. Too many drops,
but he doesn't look natural with the football. It doesn't look like a Tyler Eifert. You throw it to him, he gonna make something happen. It was like he caught it and was like, "Oh shoot, what do I do next?" I'm like, "You 6'7", like get right." Like, and the fact that we just kept going to him like he was like this, like Michael Mayer, 1,000 receptions on the season. No, we kept going at him like he was going to be the drive starter. Like, no, that's not the guy we get going. You get going to Jaden Greyhouses. That's the one you throw a little BS to all day. And then, so Eli, I don't know. Eli didn't look like he was a good representative of tight end U based off of the ballers we've had. Go back.
Orimic said it best. He was P-footing.
Yeah, when he caught the ball, it was like he caught it and it was either like he thought he was going to get hit right away or he was like, well, what do I do? Like, I don't know. It looked awkward. It didn't look natural for us to be force-feeding the ball to him like that. Now, I think a lot of it was stemmed off of these dumb RPO, like read, throw, handoff, and CJ just giving him a bunch of green light. But that's not going to win us games. Now, I remember that was the type of play calling and type of way we did to get the ball rolling against Purdue. Because remember, how many times we see tight end dump passes and flats and arrows to tight ends versus Purdue to get Riley going. Maybe that was the mindset to get C. But if you got CJ nominated as this next great hope, you can't throw screens and do all that BS throwing with him. You have to throw the ball down the field. So you can't be scared to let the leash off, but then tell us in these press conferences he's so smart and so mature and ready and prepared. And
yeah, it is definitely contrarian.
That's the same thing as us saying we trust Tobias Merriweather. He's just killing it in practice. He's the man. He's doing everything.
He never sees the field. And he never sees the field.
Post game, damn, like.
Hey, Lucky Lefty Podcast. Go to FanDuel, FanDuel.com. I haven't seen the early line of the Texas A&M game, but I expect Notre Dame to still be a favorite against the Aggies at home over at FanDuel, FanDuel.com. Marcus Freeman, post-game conference. His thoughts, this is how he opened.
Obviously disappointing with the outcome. It was a top 10 fight, come down to a 3-point game versus a hell of a football team. Our guys got a lot to really a confidence to build off of. There's obviously a lot out there that we didn't do well, but there are some things we did do well, and we got to build on the things that we did well, and we got to fix with RC the things we didn't do so well. It's the first game of the year versus a heck of an opponent. We obviously got a new quarterback starting, and we got to do things to try to help him kind of figure his way out. And defensively, we got to be better in crucial parts of the game. I think in crucial parts of the game, they actually did play well. It's the parts that maybe the normal situations we weren't as really as high performing as I would like in that situation. So we'll take it. We'll get back to work. Look at ways to fix it and utilize this bye week and get ready for our next opponent, A&M.
Look, when you don't keep it real in the media after a while, it just becomes word salad. It's like, what is there to feel confident after, other than we lost by 3 points when it could have been by more, I'm sure. But it's like, dude, this figuring out what we need to do, I think is a collective effort. I think it's more so on the coaching in this instant, but it emanates from the head coach. If you go up there and bland talk what happened, the team's gonna play bland. It just, I don't know. It doesn't. He's not giving me enough after a loss to feel confident about the next week. Then you're on mute.
Well, Lef, if he didn't give you enough right there, this is what he had to say when he was asked about the offensive line. John Bryce, the journalist in me loves great questions at press conferences. They just do something for me. John Bryce asked this question. You spoke and have stated that this program is an offensive and defensive line driven program. Did your lines live up to that tonight? It was a great question, framed perfectly. There was no wiggle room to evade or get away from
no wiggle room. I like that question.
The way he framed it, I was like, yes. That's a great journalistic question.
Yeah, because there's no escape. Did we get it or not?
Shout out to John Bryce for that question. The journalist on the inside of me was jumping up and down like, yo, magnifique. This is what Marcus Freeman had to say.
The effort was there. I guess you got to give credit to their team. I told the guys in the locker room challenge, we got to play harder, longer. You know what? We played hard, but they played hard too. And, both of us played harder. We had some self-inflicted wounds that we can't have. But I think our guys played well. Our O-line, they stepped up to the challenge. We didn't always run the ball. Listen, that 2-minute situation where, everybody knows this, they got to throw the ball. You got Styles in there because Snap went down. It's a tough situation, and so I'm not going to evaluate them just off of the 2-minute situation. We got to find a way to win the game in that situation. But I thought for the most part of the game, our line did a good job. D-line, I want to be more dominant. My expectations for that unit is to dominate the game in the run and the pass, put pressure on the quarterback and stop the run. And credit to Miami, we weren't able to do that, but that's my expectation for those guys.
Go ahead, Lef. Look, man, first of all, I don't want to hear you played hard. I want to hear that you played good.
And then the response was they played harder. Okay, 2 hard teams playing hard. Who's the hardest to play?
Because let me give you the connotation of playing hard for me. This goes back to what I said. You have a room of competitors. That's what competitors do. They play hard. Stop speaking in it or speaking about it in terms of it's something exceptional. That's not something exceptional. To give your best is expected. To play hard as an athlete is expected. I need you to play good. I need you to play to your best capabilities. That's what I need. Play hard is a requirement to even be part of this program. That's a requirement. I need more than that. I need your best consistently. That's what I need. I don't want to talk about play hard, they played hard. Man, that's what we do here. We play hard. Now, let's move on from that. That's the standard. We play hard. Now, can we move to playing at our best? And to the expectations of being an O-line and defensive line driven program.
Yeah, because playing hard is such a
scared, and I'm scared to hear. It scares me to hear, for the most part, we played well as an offensive line. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me go to this
challenge. Come on, dude. No, they didn't.
Did you see how many yards per rush you averaged? Did you see how easy their defensive ends? Did you see how easy their defensive ends got to your quarterback?
Easy though.
2 minute. Easy.
I'm talking about off of the set Ike, lose the one-on-one. He's running full
They
speed.
literally ran the hoop drill. They literally just ran the corner, bro.
I mean, we talked about the Emil Wagner. He turned and ran with the guy. It's like, Emil, you're not the DN. He is. You're supposed to stay square. I said, oh, yes, he didn't stand a chance in that last drive. But it goes back to what you're saying. We're resting on the fact of, oh, we feel good because we played hard. That's your head coach giving you the outs. Oh, guys, we just got to play harder, longer. We'll figure it out. It's fine. No, it's deeper than playing hard and longer because we all played hard. I thought they played hard. I thought we didn't quit. I mean, hell, they won by 3 for a game-winning field goal. So it's not like we played to our competition's level, in my opinion. But that's Notre Dame's great. That's Notre Dame's great curse, is that we'll play to the level of whoever we're playing with when we're not locked in as a team.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think John Stockton played hard?
Yeah.
Do you think John Stockton played hard?
Yeah.
Do you think LeBron James plays hard?
I think LeBron James plays pretty hard, yeah. Well, not now. He's probably chilling, but you know.
But for the most part, do you think LeBron James plays?
LeBron James gonna play hard, yeah.
Which player would you want? Because they both play hard. You want the better player, don't you?
Yeah.
You want the more talented player, don't you?
Yeah, you want the better player.
I don't want to hear about playing hard. Who's the field and make plays? The standard should not be, oh, this guy is on the field because he plays hard. No. Skip that. Everybody plays hard. Who is producing?
Yeah.
Who is not going to get pushed 3 yards off the ball? Who's going to get the sacks we need?
Yeah. Because we're giving playing hard as merit to start and merit to be captain, merit to play. Nah. What about getting a sack? we want to play the guy that does that, because this whole you do everything we ask and we're giving you off of the earned credit, that's just not applying to a team that's beyond that expectation. We are beyond the expectation of everybody coming to work and playing hard every day. That's the standard of a great team. Where we are is, okay, on top of effort, we also are going to evaluate who are the bigger playmakers out of the hard workers. And that's where we're not given the proper merit or credit to. Now, I don't know, but you're telling me by putting those players on the field as those are the best representation of playmaking and effort, then we have to evaluate a talent thing. Then it becomes talent. Okay, so you got guys playing at their max effort and ability, but they're getting blown off the ball. So maybe that type of player isn't the player which you need. Because that's on the player then. That's a talent thing. So Marcus Freeman, are you telling me you don't have talented enough players? Because you got everybody working hard and everybody playing hard. So
here you go, Left. Here you go, Left. I got you. Because you're a Lakers fan. You're a plant because you're not a true Lakers fan.
Yeah, no, LeBron fan.
Okay. So Magic Johnson won championships with Kurt Rambis at power forward. He also won championships with James Worthy at power forward. He had one game to win. Which power forward do you think he's going to pick, Left? Because Kurt Rambis was a man, he worked hard. He played hard. He was a try-hard guy. But if Magic wanted to win one game, who do you think he's picking as his power forward?
Oh, he going with that Worthy character.
Okay. And it feels like Notre Dame is choosing the Kurt Rambuses.
We've done that forever. We've done that a lot, and we've done it for a long time. That's why walk-ons are so famous, because they work hard. We have made Wapoos have their own nation because they're the only group in the nation that gets the merit for actually working hard. All these other schools are like, yeah, you working hard, but you a walk-on. You ain't got no talent for real. We're looking at it as, oh my gosh, your hard work and dedication, you're going to start punt returner and fair catch punts all season, and that's because you work hard, so you deserve it, you earned it, and that's great, but we need to focus on that next elite level, because guess what? Notre Dame is a bunch of hard-working people. But in Notre Dame, they got some other different factors that play into why those players make plays and do well. So,
man, Lucky Lefty podcast, super chats. Let's get to them, Left, because I have one more clip to play on the way out, and I'll let you rock out. But Sam W77, did you notice how CJ was alone after his first touchdown pass? Seems weird to not be surrounded by teammates after your first career touchdown pass. I have to go back and watch it. I didn't pay attention to that. Grant, thank you to the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Where was Bryce Young and Will Pauling?
in South saving them. We just like Jeremiah Love, we're saving all his ability and talents for when he can get to the NFL. Or Will Pauling and Bryce Young, we just kept them in a hotel. I don't know.
Yeah. Connor, I don't know. Your guess is as good as ours. No super chat from Connor Grant. It's time for Will Black or Gerby at left tackle. They both are playing guard right now. I don't even want to talk about it, man. Over at Pro Football Focus, this is why I get upset. The media types will publicly rip Emil Wagner. Publicly on social media, rip Emil Wagner. But they would stay quiet. Not the fans, talking about the media type, the podcasters. When it comes to Anthony Knapp, you hear nothing. You hear nothing. Except Brian Driscoll last night went ham. He went ham. But outside of that, they'll post Emil Wagner was awful. Emil Wagner didn't look good. Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Knapp graded out 10.5 out of 100 on Pro Football Focus in this game. 10.5 out of 100. Let that sink in. I've been saying it. I'll continue to say it. The best tackle on this team is Charles Jackensaw. And it's amazing to me that when he was playing tackle, fans were complaining he looks like a guard. Now you see what you have at tackle? Now do you see what you have at tackle? And you were whining and complaining because he's too big to be a tackle. Who would you rather have at tackle right now? Him or the current players holding the spot? I'm just saying. Brandon Starr, they did a lot of six-man pressure in the first half, but it was getting picked up every time. Devontae Smith, which I thought was weird, seeing that he's a safety. He was asked in the press conference as to why they struggled to pressure the quarterback. He's a safety. But I thought he gave a really good answer from his point of view as a safety. He said, look, they kept the running back in a lot. to help and to give the numbers, and their tight ends were chipping our defensive ends as they were going out. Sounds like a smart offensive coordinator, or very wise offensive coordinator. Not to say that Notre Dame doesn't have a smart offensive coordinator, but it sounds like an offensive coordinator that was prepared to face a team that wanted to put pressure on the quarterback. And he didn't wait to have to adjust because something happened. He put it into the actual game plan. And I'm trying to figure out how you just leave that offensive line that struggled all night. How do you just leave them 5-on-4, man-to-man on the outside with those elite pass rushers at the biggest part of the game?
We got to talk about this because we had a recent transfer of 3 guys at the O-line position that left unexpectedly. They found something wrong within the culture of the O-line room, that they found that it wasn't good enough for them, so they all 3 left. That was questions we talked about before. So now you fast forward and wondering what problems exist on the O-line and where it comes from and what stems from it, this, that, and the third. Well, there's been slight issues, and it's more from a communication standpoint. So if communication off the field is a little awkward, a little off, a little situationally messed up, what is the communication on the field? What's the communication between coach and player? I can tell you one thing. We would have never had 3 transfers at the same time if it was Easton. And they played. They wouldn't have left because what does everybody say about Easton? Oh, my God, I learned stuff I wouldn't get nowhere else by just being around Easton and being at Notre Dame. That they valued more than just leaving the search for something else because they knew whatever was being taught there, even if they wasn't playing, was worth the wait. What did Charles Jagasaw say? Charles Jagasaw came in and said, I just want to talk to the man. Forget the visit. I love Touchdown Jesus and the grotto and all that. Let me just get some hours in the film room. So something either was lost, because I haven't heard nobody say, damn, to commit Notre Dame, I just want to hear Joe Rudolph just explain an A block to me. I just want to hear Rudolph just tell a story about coaching X, Y, and Z great linemen that he had. So is Rudolph kind of catching the fallout love from a Easton tree that has built so many successful fruits? Is he just kind of Ryan Day third base catching the fruits of the labor? Or is he planting the new seeds to where guys can fall on that foundation of to not have these mystery, what are they doing out there? I haven't seen that many, type of plays from the O-line in a while. Where I'm just like.
Not plays like that.
Where you're like, like that's not a normal loss for O-lineman at Notre Dame. Where you're just like, that didn't even look like you knew what you lost on some like, damn, were you paying attention?
And you're a senior.
So that's like odd things that stick out that I just know we wouldn't be saying that as a mistake under a Easton line. A Easton line has a mistake. You go, okay, technical things. He need to get a weight room, or he just got to learn the calls. This was like, that hike.
And this is another thing, and I'm not in there, so I can't speak to it. I just don't get the feeling. As we get the super chat from Indy Milton fan, I just don't get. I know that performance by those tackles last night. I know Harry's chewing them out. I already know.
Them boys probably still in Miami on the field after the game, still getting some extra practice reps. For real. You think, man, losing around Easton was like a somber day. It's like them dudes didn't want to go to practice. That was back when practice and losing was a meeting something. Like it was getting less as I was going through it, where he didn't get the victory dinner if he didn't win. But even before that, when you didn't want to go to practice because you knew losing, it wasn't like, oh, we had a tough game, we lost. No. You didn't block and you made me look crazy. That's what he He said, like, you made me look crazy on that last play. Oh no, we blocking off the bus, off the plane, before and after practice. We going back to that. I don't think that fear or respect exists with the O-line today. I think they'll be like, oh, it's a bad game. We'll look at the film and we'll move on. But he's saying, man, you will be scared to be the one that messed it up of the group. Because one, everybody else gonna look at you like, you all right? You know, it's a peer pressure thing. I mean, you got Glynchy, you got Nick Martin, you got some boys. So you being the one messing, they looking at you like, wait a minute, you tripping. And that's before you even get to Heaston. Then you got to walk the Heaston office and he's going to sit there and look at you like, why did I bring you here? You know you're supposed to be doing this and this and this and this. And you will be corrected, fixed, moved on, and guilted for playing so bad. Is that the same type of energy that exists and atmosphere that exists now? Do we even address it? Or is it also, oh, we're just going to play harder and work harder? I hope that's not the message that Joe Rudolph takes from Marcus Freeman back to that O-line room. Oh, we just need to play harder and longer. No. That's not what we need to do. Somebody call Heaston. Get him on the phone.
Now we get this last super chat before we get out of here. We want everybody to enjoy your families, be safe, have an incredible holiday. All the kiddos, man, they get a day off. Enjoy your day off. But it's the worst holiday because you still have to go to sleep early because school is tomorrow. So it's one of the worst holidays. You can't even stay up late. How does the O-line get fixed? Malik just touched on it, ND Milton fan.
The culture's got to get vamped back up. The expectation for quarterbacks, you know, we lowered the bar for quarterbacks. We're not lowering the bar for O-line. Quarterbacks, we can be excited about CJ's performance because that was better in a loss than any win we had last year from an individual performance standpoint. Mm-hmm. So we can get excited about CJ. O-line, oh, hell no. Oh, no, we're not. We can lower the quarterback's bar. Okay, that takes some time. But O-line has been ain't no lowering that because if you lower that, now we got to talk about this ain't no undefeated season. This is a season we're going to have some ups and downs, and we don't know, and we got to wait and see. And foundationally, we are consistently a 10-win team because of a consistent O-line, period. End of story. And a good defense, but more so consistent O-line because it gives us chances. If we can't depend on that, shoot, CJ is the least of our problem.
You couldn't have said it and ended the show better than that. Lucky Podcast, subscribe. Share, hit the thumbs up, leave your comments, questions. We respond to all. Great chat. Even in defeat, man, spirits are still high. People are looking forward to the bye week. Texas A&M coming in on the 13th of September at Notre Dame Stadium for the home opener. Man, great questions, comments. Even the Miami fans that jumped in. All respect, all love. TikTok, Twitter, X, Instagram at Lucky Pod. Bleav Network, please go tap in with us on the audio side over at Bleav Network. We greatly appreciate it. And then we are presented by FanDuel. We are presented by FanDuel, FanDuel.com. Let me see, Lef. I'm going to make sure because they probably are up. I just didn't go ahead and check it. Let me see these games here. There we go. I am bugging right now. Let's see. Notre Dame definitely probably drops into the mid-teens. They probably drop to like 10 or 11 next week.
We can't drop more than some of these other teams that lost. Some of the other teams that lost ain't no excuse.
I'm trying to find the line left. It's a prime game. I'm assuming it's a 6 o'clock kick. This is 7 o'clock Eastern. If somebody sees it or knows it, put it in the chat. I don't see the line right now. Oh, you know why? I'm looking at next week's games, and Notre Dame is in 2 weeks. I'm bugging. So they haven't set the line yet for that game. But I would expect Notre Dame to still be a favorite.
We play next week.
Yeah, we play the 13th. We have a bye week this week.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I figured.
Yeah. So go to FanDuel.
FanDuel.com. Such a tease, huh? Such a tease.
Man, yeah. So now we have to sit and stew with this for 2 weeks.
Damn.
Have a great day, guys. We appreciate you. Don't forget, tap in with us on the audio side. And don't forget, 4 for 40 with Reggie Brooks coming up Wednesday. And the Players Only podcast. We're here with the former Notre Dame players, MALIK, Jerron Jones, Reg, Big O, Will. Woo, Reg was down there. So I know Reg has been talking O-line all summer. So
he made some good points for the game.
Yeah. Patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network. For Left SD2 Mics, we'll see you tomorrow for another edition of the Lucky Lefty podcast. Continue to spin it different.